Oh shoot, not ready yet. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Oh yeah. Now this is the perfect meal right here. Alright guys, we're gonna ignore the fact that it is 3 days later and I'm having breakfast again 3 days later. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Bart Cart video. This one is pretty serious. It is mainly for people in Oklahoma, but still, everybody needs to pay attention to the lawful things that are happening with our special plant. So there's a thing called Cowboy Cup here that happens in Oklahoma, and it's a competition for the cannabis brands, and it's a really great thing. But I saw on their Instagram they posted to protect the patient rights, and I was like, whoa, I'm a patient. Of course I want to protect my rights. So I just now opened this, and I'm going to read it and say the things as I figure them out to you guys, and we're gonna get to the bottom of what is supposedly gonna happen, but we're gonna change it because we're gonna send emails and spam these government people because we need our weed. Okay, so far it just says protect the patient rights in the medical program. It's talking about legalizing marijuana for recreational use, which that would be a great thing, not only for people, but for the state and the country and the world as a whole. And we're just speaking between me and you stoners. Like, sure, if there's an anti-stoner out there, you can say all you want, but this is good stuff for us. They want to legalize it for 21 plus, and they want it so that you don't have to have any new business license. Like, if there's a dispensary or a grow already doing it, they don't have to apply to be recreational because they're medical already. They're wanting it so that it's just straight away they get to sell it to 21 plus. It says all current licenses can do medical and 21 plus sales to 21 plus. And it says after 180 days of passing the law, it says passage, there will be home delivery. So if it became recreational, after 180 days, once that passes, we would have delivery services set up just like there are in Los Angeles, pretty much. In section 4 here, it says basically the stuff about how much the licenses are, and even a patient license, 2 years for $100, and it looks like pretty much nothing has changed really. Alright, I'm fine with this. I'm literally fine. It says section 5, 10% excise on 21 plus sales. So a 10% tax that would go to the state from the 21 plus sales, the recreational sales, but 0% tax on the medical marijuana sales. So if you continue to have your medical marijuana card for valid reasons like I do, then you won't have to pay that $10 tax. I'm totally fine with that. It says the tax is split 50-50 between the state and country. Okay, well that makes sense, and that's great. I'm not really understanding section 6. It looks like it's missing the word if, because I'll show you guys. So it says right there, section 6I, federally allowed, but I think it's supposed to say if federally allowed, and federally would mean if all of the country legalized marijuana, but we're far from that. So I'm confused with this one, but basically it says federally allowed, Oklahoma is open to export, and that means they'd be able to export their products so that we could expand our brands and make money from it, just like California could export it to us and they could sell here. It says 3% export tax. Okay, simple stuff. Okay, and there's in section 8, it basically says that if there's one part of this whole thing that isn't allowed or won't get passed, it doesn't kill the rest of the act. All the other things will still stand. Okay, I'm going to read this. I haven't even read it yet. It says, The last recreational state question, 820, failed. Why is this time going to be different? SQ 820 failed because it was bad language for industry. It did not protect consumers and was backed by out-of-state interests who ignored local grassroots efforts. That makes a lot of freaking sense. So they're trying to protect the people and keep it here, and that's how it always should be. Protect your place, keep it there. If you guys want to export, sure, but stay, like, let us do our thing. Stay away, pretty much. If I want Cali, you can import it here and I'll get the Cali. But you guys don't have to just come here immediately and take away the Oklahoma brands. That's what they're trying to do. In 2018 and opposed 820. Additionally, with the passage of time, the current medical marijuana program has evolved, and now this act is needed to help enforcement and protect consumer safety from illegal operators. Help from illegal operators? I don't know really how they're going to fix that one, because that's been happening all the time, and I don't know how that's going to fix that. But hey, recreational marijuana, still medical marijuana, possibly federally allowed someday. That would be great. Good question. If we get enough signatures, when could we see it on the ball out? Filing in March. We could see this act on the ball out in 2026. File in March. Signature collect start as early as July 4th. Interesting. 90 days to gather signatures. 30 days to count. 90-day waiting period. May 1st is the first available ball out in time for June 2026. So basically a year from now. Like, this is something we have to talk about now so that they can only then get it into act a year from now, then vote on it. Does this affect the current medical marijuana program in Oklahoma? No. The law protects patient rights and no tax, and also veterans get licenses without a fee. Very good question, because Oklahoma is the biggest marijuana state. You can look into it all you want. I can say it's because of the black market and the illegal things that they're talking about. But still, the only answer is honestly to make it federal someday, because then, boom, like, we're over. It's like selling cigarettes to a friend. Like, it's so confusing. But what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Oklahoma's the biggest state, but Oklahoma's the biggest weed state, but they are still going to give out more cards or more licenses to grow and have dispensaries. We've sold the most we could and the max we could, and they stopped for a while. There's some licenses you can still get, but literally Oklahoma's flooded with growers, dispensaries, extractors, all the good shit. That's why it's really cheap here too. Back to the point though, it says, will new licenses be issued? Yes. While there is no limit on new business applications, lawmakers are allowed to set a limited application period and limit the number of applications submitted by individuals and entities. This provision protects opportunity while providing current license holders up to a 3-year period before new license applications are accepted. Basically, what it's saying is you could have to wait up to 3 years to even get accepted. That's what I'm understanding. On the other hand, though, some people sell their businesses because they just don't want to run it anymore, or it's failing, and so they just sell the license and you can take it over. Pretty freaking sure about that one. Long story short, it says if the law passes, 60 days after it passes, you can go into any dispensary here in Oklahoma as long as you're 21 and get some Zaza. And boom, I finally found something out. So as a medical marijuana patient, I would go to the dispensary, and I'm thinking that I am paying no tax. Of course, that doesn't really make any sense because it's only medical marijuana there, so they need to make money. And I've seen online statistics where it showed Oklahoma made like $100 million from weed in a year. It was like 2024 or something. Anyway, though, it says the 7% excise tax on medical marijuana. So there has always been a 7% tax here in Oklahoma on medical marijuana, but once they pass this, that tax will be eliminated, which means the weed could be slightly cheaper. But at the same time, if it becomes 21 plus, they might make stuff more expensive. I have no idea. We're going to have to wait and find out. At least I can grow my own and you can too. So that it's cheaper, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. That's really it. If the law did pass, they'd basically be switching over the laws that us medical patients have to the 21 plus people as well. It says 12 marijuana plants, 72 ounces of topical marijuana, 1 ounce of concentrate, 72 ounces of edibles, 8 ounces of suppository marijuana. I don't know what that is. 8 ounces of commercially sold marijuana. Yeah. I'm really interested about the impairment testing. The mere presence of THC metabolites in a person's blood or other body fluids or tissues, no evidentiary weight with regards to current impairment or intoxication. Okay, so I think it says the metabolites, it doesn't matter or add up to the weight of a person. No test which identifies the presence of THC metabolites in a person's blood shall be used as evidence of impairment or intoxication for the purpose of denying any form of healthcare, housing, employment, public assistance, license, or licensed activity. Basically everything. Guido came home with this shit, a bunch of shit, a bunch of energy drinks, candy, and the cat's in heat right now. That's bad. Okay, so first time me seeing this, it says parental rights. Marijuana use does not constitute the use of an illicit substance. So it's like you're smoking cigarettes. Firearms. No conduct permitted under this article shall be the basis for the denial, revocation, or suspension of any state-issued licensing, including driver's licenses, concealed carry permits, which is carrying a gun. Yeah. Another important sentence, no ordinance, regulation, or statute relating to the vaporization or smoking of cannabis shall be more restrictive than those related to tobacco use. So that means wherever somebody's smoking a vape or tobacco, you can also smoke up your marijuana. Well, I got most of that, and I think I need to email somebody, and once the petition is ready, I'm going to sign it and make sure to share with everybody to sign it, and you should too, especially if you're in Oklahoma. But if you just want the world to get one step closer to having legal weed, then you can help by joining too. I'm faded right now. I'm going to get more faded, have some fun. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.